The next book I have is the Complete Healing Natural Remedies, Holistic Approach to Mental Health and Healing. So this was also a really good book. I learned basically about natural remedies, how to take care of yourself, what type of ingredients and foods and stuff you can take. So specific plants, chamomile, chamomile, all that stuff. Healing Foods is another book I got. This was also pretty good about just type of foods that make your body feel good. So I really got in depth with how to take care of yourself. I got another book, Vitamin and Minerals Bible. This was a pretty good book. Basically, what does omega-3 do for you? You know, what is stuff like magnesium, chromium, vitamin B2, figs. You got just a lot of different stuff, beet juice. So all these different foods, vitamins, things that could help your body. I became like a scientist, but by far the single most important book that I read for my recovery and for the rest of my life, hands down, has to be Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease by Dr. Cadwell B. Esselstyn Jr., one of the most famous cardiologists in the whole world that talk about how to prevent or reverse heart disease. And, you know, after Bill Clinton had his heart attack, he called Dr. Esselstyn. And he went on the Esselstyn diet, which is a fully plant-based vegan diet, which is what I'm on now for the rest of my life. And I like it. I like the plant-based food. I don't miss meat. I don't miss steak, chicken, all that stuff, because I want to stay alive. So I don't really care what I need to do to eat. As long as I take care of this and my beautiful heart, it's fine. Whatever I need to eat, and I'll listen to Dr. Esselstyn. He's the best in the entire world. And he did save Bill Clinton's life. So there's a picture of him. He's right there. I did talk to him several times. We are going to have a probably big meeting. Hopefully I can catch him and he can be in my Netflix documentary. But, you know, he shows the artery right here, the still LAD right here before a plant-based diet. And then after the plant-based diet, it's fully repaired. Your artery looks like that over time. It gets clogged up slowly over time. As long as you follow his plant-based diet, you should be good and you'll survive. And eventually, hopefully, you can stop taking all the medication too. You just do the plant-based diet. Fully plant-based, some of the most controversial things, I'll just list them right now. No meats at all, no steak, no red meat, that's very common, but then also no salmon, no fish. That's very controversial because everyone thinks salmon and fish is good for you. It has good fats, etc. The way that Dr. Esselstyn explained it to me is fat is fat. There's no good fat, there's no bad fat. It's fat. So I don't know the misinformation, whoever came up with good fat, bad fat. It doesn't matter. It's all fat. The whole thing goes into your heart and kills you. So I don't want any of that in my body. So unfortunately, no fish for me. I still get plenty of omega-3. Shrimp has the highest level of concentration of cholesterol in there too, so don't need to eat that. All my protein I get from beans and tofu and, you know, impossible meat and all that type of stuff. So I try a lot of different things. No nuts either. Avocado, controversial. Such good fat. Guacamole. I used to love guacamole. I rarely have it. Very high concentration of fat. I don't have that either. Peanuts, cashews, things like that. Can't have any nuts. I'm a cardiac patient. Also has a lot of density and fat in there. Brazil nuts, can't have those. Another controversial thing, olive oil. Everybody puts olive oil in everything. Actually very horrible for you if you're a cardiac patient. I know there's a lot of misinformation about olive oil is good. It's bad. I don't have it. Dr. Esselstyn told me not to put one drop of it in my mouth, and I won't. People wonder, how do you cook stuff? I just cook it in water. It cooks perfectly normal like everything else. I don't need to cook it in olive oil. Just put a little water on the frying pan. Cooks fine. No butter. Butter is also terrible, so I don't have butter either, so I don't have any of that. And again, it's a little bit extreme, but I protect this beautiful, nice heart that's in my body, and I want to keep it, and I don't want to mess it up, and I don't want to have another event. So I will be a little bit extreme, and I'll just do this for the rest of my life, and hopefully I will continue living. Look at that, you can break it apart. So yeah, it's pretty crazy, intense diet, but if you had what I had, you're going to do what it takes to survive. Here's the Prevent Heart Disease Cookbook, which explains everything you can cook. Vegan diet, gluten-free, everything you can have. A lot of spinach. You get chutney. Look at that. Lovely collard sushi. That looks nice. So I just follow the cookbook. His wife is a really great cook, and his daughter also. I think his son-in-law Rip also has the Indian type of foods also. So there's so many foods. I could do this the rest of my life. Oh, here's Ann Krill and Jane Esselton on the back. Very nice people right there. I was in a seminar with them recently about how to survive this type of stuff. And then if you do sign up for them, they give you this very nice binder. It's this big binder. Basically, you're in class now, and you got to study basically the foods you got to eat, what not to do, what happens when you go to restaurants. Basically, when you go to restaurants and they cook food in oil and butter, you got to go to different restaurants. Go to Chopped, go to a salad bar, go to some of the vegan restaurants. Vegan is a big thing in America, so got to be careful with that American diet though. Eggs, bacon, turkey, meat, it'll kill you. It's the worst diet in the entire world. So I don't do any of that. If you do want to know what I eat in the morning, I have steel cut oats, and I boil them in just water. If I do have any milk, I'll have oat milk. I don't have any more dairy anymore. And then I'll just have fruit with it. So just plain oatmeal with cinnamon powder on it. Cinnamon's pretty okay for you. And I'll have blueberries, strawberries, banana. The same thing that Dr. Esselton eats in the morning. It's the same thing. He's 90 years old. So I do that. And then for lunchtime, I usually have sweet potato that's pressure cooked. And then I'll have spinach. Spinach is really good for you. Esselton will explain. Spinach, arugula, bok choy, kale, these special green, dark leafy vegetables actually repair your endothelial cell, which actually repairs your heart, and you restore your heart. And that's what I do. I eat that a lot. I think he asked for 5 to 6 servings per day. I have a lot of corn, black beans, pinto beans, rice. I eat a lot of great food. Asparagus, I'm very healthy. The day of my heart attack, I was 200 pounds. I'm now down to 145. I'm 6 feet tall. So I look relatively thin, but I feel healthy. And the best thing is my heart is perfectly fine. So that's all I care about, is really just my amazing heart to take care of it. And I love my heart so much. And you got to do that, by the way. You need to tell yourself you experience joy, you love your heart. Heart is the center of joy. So you want to also mentally tell yourself that you love your heart, you love yourself. And if you don't, this poor old heart will shrivel up and become black, and then it'll just die. Be careful what you're saying to yourself. It's a big part, not only what you're eating, but mentally. So I say to myself every day, my heart is getting better. I'm feeling healthier, and I'm healthier than ever before. I just continuously repeat that, and I feel great, totally fine. I have zero problems. He does also recommend, Dr. Friedman, when I left, 3 months of cardiac rehab, which is what I was doing at Shady Grove Hospital. It's a lot of cardio work, 20, 30 minutes of cardio, you're running, but you're monitored, they're checking your heart. It's a safe place to exercise. You're very scared to do anything after a heart attack because you think any type of movement you do, you might trigger something. So I was in a very depressed state for 3 months, but after going through the rehab, I felt confident. So I highly recommend to do the rehab therapy if you do have a heart issue. And I'm fairly young, I'm only 35, very unusual to have this. But again, like I said, genetics, stress. Genetics is probably the biggest part because it's not metabolizing my cholesterol at the same rate level as everybody else. So unfortunately for me, I got to be very careful forever. Until we can alter my DNA, unfortunately, maybe my kids might get some of the heart issues my family has. We'll see if we could do something about that. And then lastly, I don't have any kids right now, by the way. And then lastly, the recovery, what to do afterwards. Just got to be careful. You exercise, a lot of cardio, staying relatively happy, not being stressed out. I changed the structure of my business. I have more teams now. I delegate more tasks. I enjoy my life more. I enjoy whatever I have left. And that's the whole point. Enjoy your life. You never know what could happen to you, but make sure you focus on health, wealth, love, and happiness, not just wealth. Otherwise, you might end up like me and having your entire life destroyed by a horrible heart attack. So hopefully it'll never happen again. I definitely feel like I'm at 99% recovery. I don't know if I'll ever feel 100% because I do have that stent in my heart. I reminded of every day. I have to take the medication in the morning and at night, at least for 12 months. We'll see with Dr. Esselton's plan if I can be fully vegan and I can get off the medication completely, which is ultimately the goal. But yeah, for everyone wondering what happened, that's the story, what happened. in. That's the recovery. It's only been 6 months ago. I'll probably update you guys maybe once a year, every year, tell you how everything's going. But I've learned a lot through everything. Just got to be careful what you eat also. I recommend plant-based vegan diets, the safest diet, fully plant-based. If you don't want to go fully plant-based, perhaps you could still have some chicken or some salmon. But if you don't have any genetic disorders and you don't have any cardiac issues in your entire family, it might not have never happened to you, but since I have a family genetic history of heart disease, it happens to everyone in my family. Most of my aunts and uncles have passed away of heart disease, my grandparents, my own mother, my dad has several heart issues too. You know, I will be the one to break the generational cycle of this. We just simply all have to become vegan, plant-based. You know, we have this Middle Eastern diet of a lot of heavy curries, dairy, cream. That also contributes to heart disease, a lot of lamb, steak, stuff like that, kebab. That's terrible. As long as you just follow Dr. Esselstyn's plant-based diet, you should be okay. I mean, you got Bill Clinton, the former president. He's still alive because he's vegan, he's plant-based. So it's not just me. I follow with a lot of very famous people that do vegan, plant-based diet. It's totally fine. Food tastes great. Got plenty of seasoning. I'm happy I'm alive. So yeah, that's all I wanted to discuss with you guys today. Thanks for watching. Stay up to date and have me in your prayers and thoughts too. Please make sure you really like my videos. Give me the strength and courage to keep going and to continue taking care of my heart so I can give you guys some great information on how to stay healthy, wealthy, happy, and in love. Thanks guys so much. Take care.